This is Madden 19. I'm the coach. You're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. Up next, we've got a good one on tap between the visiting Arizona Cardinals and the Los Angeles Rams. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, thank you much. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the City of Angels, Los Angeles, California. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Arizona Cardinals and the Los Angeles Rams. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you look at this Rams team as they interplay. They've been playing their best football of the year, winners of 4 in a row. Meanwhile, for the visiting Cardinals here, they were losers their last time out. They're going to try to get back in the win column, but obviously they're going to have to do that in a hostile environment.
And sometimes it actually works to your advantage. Now you've got to band together your team, the us against the world mentality. Let's see if they can use it and get a victory.
The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final 2 bring us as we're off in Week 9? This is fielded a couple yards deep. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. So out come the Cardinals now for their opening drive. Under center, it'll be the former UCLA Bruin, Josh Rosen.
And you've got to think that they've got to be feeling pretty fresh. You know, coming off of the open week, didn't have to play, right? Gives them a chance to rest up a little bit, heal some of those aches and pains, and excited about playing again. That really rekindles things a little bit. I want to see how they come out and establish themselves here early.
And that bye week coming right where they want it, in the middle of the schedule. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Now Rosen on 1st down. And on the catch right side, this is Sanders. So he got free of 1 tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Third play here, this opening drive, as they're up against a 3rd and 5.
Let's go! Blue landed! Blue landed!
Out of the gun, here's Josh Rosen. And he's got a noon one. His first catch there, good for 10 yards and a 1st down.
All that practice time came to fruition on that play. All those timing routes that they work on through training camp, OTAs, minicamp, and just regular season, they got it done on that one. An outcut, ball was delivered, and picked up the completion.
False start, offense.
Yeah, that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5.
Still 1st down.
A false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Now a handoff, Johnson, and he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. It's a 5-yard pickup, so essentially they get the penalty yardage back, and it's back to 2nd and 10.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Hurry up, here we go! Blue landed! Blue landed!
On 2nd down, Johnson. And he'll be taken down right around the 41-yard line. 9 yards on the pickup there as they'll be left with 3rd and 1.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. Call it no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1.
On every snap, the defense is trying to establish who they are, but on 3rd and short, that's really when you put it out there and tell people who you are, and that's exactly what they did. For the offense, they're looking at their offensive line and saying, guys, where are you? We need you on those plays.
So out come the Rams now for their first possession. They're led onto the field by the former Cal Bear and the #1 overall pick in 2016, Jared Goff.
It's a pretty bland game he had last time out. Ended up throwing 1 interception. Didn't have a touchdown to offset it. But the team found a way to win. He found a way to lean on other parts of the offense that carried them through.
Goff will lead the Rams up here 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line. The drive starts with a run by Collins. And a short pickup there as he'll take this up to right around the 20. The tackle there by Patrick Peterson.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They run with Collins. And a penalty flag down as he gets only about a yard. And let's listen in on the call.
Holding, offense.
So he was holding from that left tackle position.
Everyone tries to keep their hands inside when they're blocking. Ever since they liberalized the rules where you can extend them out. But sometimes they get out a little wide and they get detected grabbing some cloth.
And strong running there gets this up over the 15-yard line. It's a 6-yard pickup to get him back to the original line of scrimmage with 3rd down coming up.
All right, Brandon, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
Throwing on 3rd, Goff. Looking for Cooks, and it's intercepted. Buda Baker with a pick, and he is going to bring this back inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Partner, you know I love to point out when teams break tendency and do something a little bit different from the norm. But when you run the ball in the first play of the drive, that's not a tendency breaker at all. That's just trying to establish yourself as you move forward.
False start, offense.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long.
Let's go.
From the gun, it's Rosen. And right side caught Hogan. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
To give them the yardage on the pass and half the distance to the goal line.
Because they're inside the 30, so now you don't march off the full 15, right? You have half the distance to the goal. In any event, that's precious real estate given up.
From the shotgun, it's Rosen. His pass caught at the 4. And he'll take this one in for the Arizona touchdown. Emmanuel Sanders with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Cardinals have taken the early lead.
This is similar to baseball where you walk the leadoff hitter and you don't expect him to come around and score. Almost impossible. Anytime a defense has to defend a short field, you usually end up seeing the result we saw, giving up points.
This is taken at the 3. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Rams offense now making their way out to take over. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference.
Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down.
Well, that didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
That's caught by his tight end, Gerald Everett. And he'll take him down at the 31-yard line. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a 1st down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. We'll call that a 49-yard punt with a return of just 2. And the Cards will take over 1st and 10. David Johnson now gears up to help lead this offense back on the field. Those are his numbers through roughly the first half of the season, and given that, you'd have to think he's on pace for a 1,000-yard campaign.
Steady as he goes, steady goes the offense. But you know what else is happening, too, because they are a team now recognized for the ability to run the football. You've got to be able to throw it better now, right? Better throwing lanes, better opportunities for the guys downfield, maybe more one-on-one coverage, which you should be able to beat easier. Yeah, he's establishing not just a tone, but an identity for his team.
And that's a discussion we had a couple days ago in the team meetings, talking about this running game, opening up the passing game. We'll see if that continues to happen. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
On 2nd down, here's Rosen, and that is incomplete here. The former Bill, Chris Hogan, the intended receiver. And that'll make it 3rd down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense if that fell harmlessly to the ground. Letting one go deep for a noon one. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Just a net of 34 there following a punt of 44 yards. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And the results for them have not been strong to this point. 2 drives have ended in a turnover and then a punt.
So would it be too snarky for me to say that they've shown improvement? Because you had two drives with turnovers. Now they punted it away, so at least they didn't turn it over. So that's good, right?
You're going to get some angry users reaching out to you on social media.
Well, I don't mean to be. I was actually looking for the positive. Silver lining, you know. Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained. So they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or 2 miss, but that window closed quickly. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the left. Back live now to begin the 2nd quarter with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin. It's the Rams with a football to get us going. They do, however, have a tough 3rd and long coming up. From the gun, here's Goff. Looking deep downfield. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. The free safety, Trey Boston, there to knock it away.
And what did we talk with them about prior to the game? Their ability to move the chains, pick up 1st downs. So far, 0 for 3 on 3rd down. If that continues, they'll have little chance of winning this one.
It gets by him, and now a little daylight. So a change of possession here on the punt. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know, we know where we are right now. But the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time, and they plan on putting it together, formulating a streak, got the whole month of December still left to play. They think they can get in.
And they made it very obvious to us that there's no playoff talk in the locker room right now. It's win this game. Chris Hogan, touchdown, Cardinals. Chris Hogan, his second touchdown on the season. And the Cardinals will extend their lead.
When we draw up defenses on the board, we do account for every receiver. But on that particular play, somehow he was wide open, became an easy touchdown pass.
Extra point splits the uprights, and it's now 14-0. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And he'll be stopped just shy of the 25 with a penalty marker down. Here's the call.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
So they will accept the penalty and move forward. After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. A shotgun snap for Goff. Drops it underneath for Collins. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And it'll be second and very short.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
This is Collins on the handoff, and he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. They go play action here on 1st down. And he's going to be taken down. Goff is sacked. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Off play action. Here's Goff. They'll roll him out right. Now he's going to let... And that is intercepted. Or was it? Wait, they'll say no. No interception. He did not keep the feet in bounds, apparently. So that's just going to be an incompletion. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They look lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And that one incomplete. Had some position but couldn't hold on, and it brings up 4th down. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
Give them 11 yards that time on the return. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
And the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
Rosen will throw. Sanders has it over the middle. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a 1st down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
The 1st down carry here for Johnson. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
And now it's Rosen looking. He's going to air it out deep for Hogan. And that's caught inside the 30. Touchdown, Cardinals. Chris Hogan with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Cardinals now adding on to their lead. Now he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the second quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. Here's a Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
And he'll be brought down right around the 37. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Now Goff. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. It's a gain of 9 yards. And that'll make it second and short.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. It'll be a pickup of 4, good enough to earn him yet another first down. Goff in the offense with a 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Reynolds. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
Brandon, so many times we see the crossing route start as a quick hitter, but in this play, he had time in the pocket and waited for him to clear going across.
Now a first down throw. Goff. Stepping up. He's going to keep it. He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be second down.
Starting left here.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. It'll be a loss of 1, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
3rd and 2. Goff. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he picks up the first as he's able to take it down to the 7-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
Here's Goff. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. Only 3 yards there on the completion. That'll lead to a 3rd and goal.
Starting left here.
And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage. Back at the 6. A minute 59 to go in the first half. We're back to the City of Angels after this timeout. All right, coming up at intermission. Charles, you want to wait to enhance your Saturday?
I certainly do.
I've got just a thing for you. It's the coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll be alongside at half to take us through the weekend in the NFL. Now it's gone. And that is going to be incomplete. They had the play call on 4th and goal, but it's dropped in the end zone. And the Cardinal defense is going to get the football back. A chance to get some momentum here in the second quarter, getting their first trip into the red zone, but unable to get it across.
And if I'm the head coach, Sure, you feel some disappointment, maybe a little bit of deflation there because you didn't get it in. But I'm going straight to rah-rah mode. All right, guys, we didn't get it this time. It's only the second quarter. We'll be back. Let's get it later on. I want to keep this team up. I don't want them to feel like they've let everyone down.
Positive.
Got to be positive in this situation. It's too early to think that you don't have a chance to win this game.
2nd and 10. It's Rosen again. Underneath for Johnson. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. A gain of 4 on the play, and they're going to face a 3rd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And able to get it across the 20 before they get to him. The quick slant, good for a 1st down, a gain of 12.
And there was absolutely zero pressure on the quarterback on that play. 3rd down, and he has all the time in the world to eventually find an open receiver for a 1st down pickup.
And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll hand it off now. Johnson. And he'll get this up over the 25 to the 26. And now they'll take a timeout defensively. After the 2nd down play, they burn the timeout, making him sweat out the final few ticks here in the 2nd quarter. The Cardinals on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6.
All right, here we go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And not even back to the line of scrimmage this time as they're on him quickly once more. And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with 4th down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. This is taken at about the 14. So we have, and just like that, on we head to half number 2. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Rams offense now, they get set and head back onto the field. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution? Or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. He juked him. Space to maneuver at the 40 as they finally wrangle him in at the 48. 23 yards on the pickup there and a 1st.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that 1st half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
It's a gain of 6 on the play, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. For 5 yards on the play there, the drive will continue. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Goff now looking to throw, and that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about.
Intentional grounding, offense.
Clearly wasn't outside of the tackle box. There's your penalty.
And accompanying that penalty, a loss of down.
They lose the yardage, and, of course, they also lose the down on the grounding call, and it's quickly 2nd and long. Here's Gone. And the pressure will bring him down here. The Cardinals get home for the sack.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. It's a 9-yard pickup on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
12. Orange. 5.
On 4th down, Gone. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Boy, a real head-scratcher there. And this defense will take over right at midfield. So they've gone for it twice now on 4th down in this game, and both times unsuccessful.
I wish we could hear the headsets now between the head coach and the offensive coordinator. Now that they're 0 for 2, if they get into a 3rd situation, head coach might say, hey, you got anything for this one? Might get radio silence back.
12 yards there as they move the chains.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral, also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Now Johnson. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. 12 yards on back-to-back plays there, and that's another 1st down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
From the red zone now, here's Rosen on 1st down. And incomplete, a drop there in the middle 3rd of the field. That'll bring up 2nd down. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10.
Set. Green, 39.
Rosen off the play action. Escaping the pressure right. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at 3rd down.
Now, how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit.
From the gun on 3rd down, it's Rosen. And that is incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down.
Offside, defense.
And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. And the Rams getting set to go now. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. But good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3, and that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
Now Collins, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Goff now looks to throw. The Cards get to him here. He's brought down for a sack.
I think we've seen this before. Someone's down 3 scores. That situation there, it's just going to add to their growing frustrations, don't you think?
Yeah, a bad number 3 right now. 3-score game, 3rd quarter, 3 and out, not what they wanted. And you can tell on the sideline, those faces are getting a little bit longer as this one goes. 42 yards on the punt, just 2 on the return. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point.
The kicker.
Exactly. You put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe.
All right, here we go. Blue line.
Now Rosen to throw on 2nd down. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Sanders. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. That'll put him at 77 yards receiving for the ball game. It's a 1st down. Josh Rosen 0 for 2 as a UCLA Bruin on this field. Never could beat USC, but he's got the lead here, and he's got a 1st down. They'll run it with Johnson. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. 10 more there and another 1st down. What makes a draw play like that successful?
Well, we did see where he made the first wave miss, and that was a big part of it. But a lot of it is just being actors back there, making the defense think it's going to be a pass.
Here's Johnson, and they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield.
Watch it now, Barney.
Well, partner, I guess sometimes just a matter of philosophy. Some say run until they absolutely stop you, and others say, well, when you think they're about to stop you, fool them a little bit. I guess they should have tried to fool him on that play.
And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call.
Holding offense.
Justin Pugh, the left guard that time with a flag. They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold.
Hurry up, here we go. 3:19. 3:19.
Now a handoff to Crowell. That run good for 6 yards, but they're still looking up at a 3rd and 15.
What a luxury to have a guy like this who can not only spell your starter, but can come in and keep drives going.
Now let's go. Blue line it.
3rd and long here for Rosen. And he can't quite pick it. No interception so far. That probably should have been their first, but at least it's 4th down.
I think it's pretty safe to say that when you're up 3 touchdowns, the last thing you want to do is hang one up there and put it in jeopardy and possibly get it intercepted. You got a nice lead. You should be able to protect it. But if you get careless with the football, look out.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken at his 4. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. And the Rams now coming out on the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28.
12.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Goff. Working the middle here. That's complete to Everett, the tight end. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs. Now Goff on 1st down. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But it looked like a Rams player was able to get his hands on it, yes. So they will hold on to the football indeed. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. Out of the gun. Goff. He's letting it fly for Cooks. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. The free safety, Trey Boston, there to knock it away. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. Eluding the pressure right. Now he'll let it go. This is intercepted. Picked off at about the 31. Oh, some strong running.
Okay, it's real simple to say from here, but we know.
The storyline in this one, Charles, no doubt the number 0. Zilch, nada. A shutout so hard to do in the NFL.
It really is, and what an accomplishment, because you feel that not just on the defensive side, but as a full team. There's a lot of pride that goes into shutting out an opponent. And how about that 0 on the scoreboard for them, going along with those zeros in the time column, too.
So for Arizona, the win means they'll finish the first half at a respectable 5-3 record. And they'll get another road test next week as they have to go to Santa Clara to take on the 49ers. Meanwhile, for the Rams, they'll fall to 5-3 with a loss. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head to Houston to take on the Texans. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL